Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Zimi and I'm so excited to have you here with me today. If you're watching for the very first time, a special welcome to you. Thank you for tuning in, and for those who watch regularly, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for your support. And if you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can get notified when I upload new videos. Now today, guys, I am so excited to be sharing this video with you because it is my birthday month. I'm an August baby, yes. I was born on the 5th of August. And so I started this month in good spirits, you know. I did so much, exciting things, fun things, and it's been a great time so far. So yeah, I'm excited. Plus, it's Women's Month, so hello. I think that's exciting to me because I'm also very passionate about women empowerment. So just the fact that we're focusing on celebrating women, or celebrating ourselves as women, or celebrating one another as women, or being celebrated in South Africa is actually a beautiful thing. So yeah, birthday month, excitement, grateful for my family and friends and all the birthday wishes and all the love, and all the gifts. I mean, the flowers that you see there in my background were a gift from a good friend who knows that I love flowers. So I am, over the moon at the moment. So yeah, guys. For this video, I have decided to do something a bit different. So in the past couple of weeks, I've just been thinking and praying about how to continue sharing content on my YouTube channel. And I was actually reminded that I am passionate about storytelling. Like, I like telling stories, right? So I decided, let me share, a story of how, or my journey rather. So that's how everything is coming about, from the place of wanting to share my journey with you. And so I've decided to break it down in like the stages of my life. So from my childhood to my schooling years, to my varsity years, to my career and what I believe is my calling, and from my future to my future, what I'm believing the next stage of my life to be, and obviously my relationship with God, how I started my journey with God. So basically the whole umbrella of this storytelling in this specific series of videos will be about my journey, being an open book, sharing a bit about who I am. Now, I know that I shared a video, I think in the beginning of, when I started sharing content on this channel about getting to know me, but that was like a few questions that really I answered from people that asked me, but I thought I should just like share now, like how everything, like how I became the person that I am, right? So for those who do not know me personally, I am Zimi Phakade Adams. I am Xhosa. I was raised at Engcobo. I was born in Mthatha, and my mom was quite young when she had me, and so she wasn't married with my dad, and she was a student nurse at the time, so she was studying and working in a different town, and so she worked night shifts and all of that, and so she left me in the beautiful care of my grandmother and my aunt. So I was raised by women, like the love and the warmth of women. So I think that's one of the reasons why I'm quite passionate about empowering one another as women, because I know how beautiful it is for us to be there for one another, and what that means when we actually completely show that to one another. I know that relationships between women have been painted in different colors of we don't support one another, we're jealous of each other, we're this and that. But I believe so much that when women are united, when women stand together, there's no telling what can happen. Greater things can happen. I believe passionate women in leadership can change the world, can change their families, can change their organizations, their businesses, their companies, everything that we're involved in. And I believe so much that because of so much oppression that we go through as women, we've learned, or we've been taught to fight so much in order to prove ourselves to be worthy, in order to prove ourselves to be capable. And I think the little bit of support that we can give one another goes a long way. Anyway, this was not part of what I planned to say, but anyway, woman empowerment, yay, womandla. Anyway, so being raised by my grandmother, a loving woman who took me to church every Sunday when she could. She was quite old, not old, I mean, that sounds rude, I'm sorry, Makulu. But she passed away about 10 years ago. But she took me to church. She tried to give me the best that she could give me, She taught me to respect, people. She taught me to be humble, and she taught me to work hard. And so, I'm sorry, guys. I don't know. I'm just having a moment, thinking about her. Anyway, between her and my aunt, they taught me household duties. They taught me how to cook, how to clean, and all of that. How to, present myself, how to dress, well. And they were helping me with, my schoolwork and all of that. So yeah, that's the kind of upbringing that I had. She was also a good, disciplinarian. She was also good with disciplining, rather. So she didn't know if you're up to no good, you're gonna get it, type of thing. And so my mom visited every week, with spoils, with food and all of that, because she was a breadwinner at home. Totally appreciate her, respect her for that. She took all the responsibility for the family, making sure that we are educated, we're provided for, we have food on the table, So yeah, it was nice. I looked forward to seeing my mom when she visited. I was sad to see her leave. Every time she left, she had to hide from me because I would cry for her. And yeah, I lived that wholesome childhood life in that sense. Also, like growing up in the village, it felt like I'm part of a bigger family. That's how things were. Like, homes were quite in close proximity to one another, and we were taught to respect everyone. Your friend's mother is like your mother. Your friend's father is like your father. Like, you don't just respect people in your home. If your neighbor sees you on the streets doing, naughty things, they would discipline you right there and there. So it felt like a big family, and I regarded everyone my age as my friend. Like, there was no, boundary of, you're not my friend. We're all friends. We all visited each other's homes. We all played together we didn't have parks, so we played in the fields or on the streets, and we were all like in one another's family or one another's lives. And we went to fetch water together, we went to fetch wood for fires together. And whenever there's a wedding or a funeral or a celebration of some sorts in one of the homes in the area, everyone was invited. You didn't even need to send an invitation. Everyone just felt like they were part of what was going on. So I grew up like in a space like that. So my worldview was that of family, that of ubuntu, togetherness. And then as I mentioned earlier, that my mom had me quite young. Her and my dad were not married, and so my dad didn't live with me. So he was in and out of my life. I could see him when he visits and when I'm around. But I started feeling the void in my heart of not having a father. Also, being around other kids really highlighted the fact that my upbringing was a bit different. I didn't have mom and dad at home, and I started seeing my confidence, or the lack of my confidence. I had a lot of insecurities about who I am, and it didn't help that my relationship with my dad as well was like on and off. And so that really took a knock on my teenage years. And I remember even with boy and girl relationships that I had, I was sort of like looking for that acceptance from a man, and which was, unhealthy and a huge responsibility to put on a boy, But I didn't know better at the time. I didn't know what it was. But my relationship with my father has gotten better. We have drawn closer. There was a lot of forgiveness and moving forward with things. But yeah, that was the kind of young girl that I was, who was sheltered and loved by her the female influences in her life, but lacked the male voice and the male influence in my life that I didn't have from my father, that I believe I sought from outside sources, which were not necessarily what I needed, which were not necessarily healthy for me. And I found myself exploring in things that I wasn't taught rather to do at home. I found myself living this double life where when I'm at boarding school, I'm here with my friends having fun and doing things, and then when I go home, I pretend to be innocent and all of that. But yeah, I think it was just nothing hectic though, but like just a normal upbringing in life. But I could tell my grandmother sensed that this child is growing. She doesn't have she didn't have the same influence that she had on me when I was at home full time. So she tried to intensify the conversations, and my mom as well. The conversations with my mom. I remember this one time when I was in high school. I think my mother could tell that this child is getting up to no good for some reason. She's starting to see boys or stuff like that, and she had a conversation with me in the car. So we're driving to Queenstown, Ekomani, from Ekofembaba, which is like an hour. So I'm stuck with her in the car for the whole hour, and she's asking me about boys and all of that. I'm like, yo, hi mom, like, can we just so that's the kind of like life that I had. I wasn't comfortable with transparency as well. For some reason I learned to just hide things, from my parents. even with my dad, like we to this day, like he still asks me things into details, and I'm like, I'm not sure, and then I start opening up. So yeah, like that's the kind of like life that I had. But I'm looking forward to exploring more. Like I'm going to talk about high school in the next video, and then I'm going to talk about varsity, which got real actually. And I'm going to talk about, how I started working and my journey with the Lord, my relationship with God, and yeah, some of my future plans or desires or what I believe, the next stage or next season of my life, I hope it would be. So yeah, please guys, bear with me, come with me along this journey, get to know me better, ask questions if you may. This is me telling my story really. That's just who I am. Like I enjoy just talking. But yeah, a big part of me is the relationship I have with God, and I believe a lot of what didn't go well or didn't go right in my childhood was restored when my relationship with God began. So a lot of the mistakes that I made, I found forgiveness from God, and I forgave myself for those things. And the brokenness of my relationship with my father, because I remember when I started going to church and I was told that God is my father, and I'm like, I'm not sure, because how do I do that? How do I do daughter-father relationship with God when I don't know how that works, right? So I believe that everything then turned around for the better, when I started my journey with the Lord. So I think forgiveness and restoration, began, and hence I am where I am today. And my father and I talk, and we have moved on from whatever space that we were in. And bright future ahead, and I am in a good space as well. Very grateful for life. Grateful for the influences I had in my life and the relationships I have now with friends and family and male figures that are a good influence to me. So because also not having a father figure in my life, I had to learn to relate to men in a wholesome way. I had to learn to trust men. I had to learn to trust the voice of good men and godly men in my life later on, and have had to learn to adjust my father now being present in my life. So I thought I should share that, because I know that specifically the father-child relationship is quite something that a lot of people go through, right? A lot of kids grow up in those conditions, especially in my country, South Africa. And also to maybe encourage people that had their fathers in life to in their childhood to appreciate that. Like, it's a beautiful thing. I think we all desire to have that. But for those who didn't have, to know that, you are not alone. Like I also went through that. But it's not the end of the world, whether it's being restored or the opportunity didn't come or your father passed away, there's still hope for you to restore a relationship with God or with other male figures that you can trust, in your life, because I believe it was created this way for a reason. God knew that it's important for a child to be nurtured by a woman, but to also be loved by a man, a father figure. So I hope I have shared something interesting about myself, but this is my story, and I am so thankful that I can get to do this for this platform. And thank you guys for tuning in, for watching, for listening, for sharing, for liking, for sticking with me. I'm gonna share another video the next time, for hopefully in the next week or so, about my schooling years and my varsity years. So yeah, thank you guys. Have a good day, week and month further, and until I see you the next time. Bye.